Hey, this is Derry and welcome to the Diamond Life Design Series, video 3. And we're going to go a little bit deeper into vision today. Now, you may notice as we're going through the series, I'm not doing the diamond in order. And the reason I'm doing that is I'm taking you in the order of which I discovered it, because then maybe that will help you in your discovery too, okay? Now, it's definitely got a different priority now, but it took me a while to learn that. So you'll see from the first video, which was the why this began and where this came out of, and the second video was around about the areas of life, right? So the third understanding for me, as soon as I started to recognize the areas of life that was important to me, truly important to me, then I was able to start to architect from there, because I needed to therefore architect every single area that was important to me. Now, this is where I didn't have the diamond back then. I was doing all over the place in different areas and different pages, and I had like journals and manuals. This is why ultimately, over a 10-year period, I pulled it all together in one place. But the next piece was, okay, now I know what's important to me in life, across all the areas. Now I must design the vision that I want for all of those areas. This was a time when I started to do a lot of work with Tony Robbins. This is going back nearly over 15 years. I went around the world with Tony. I did his Mastery University and Date with Destiny in Australia and Life Mastery. And I love Tony's work. Tony's a great guy in the world out there and still to this day smashing it as one of the world's best. And he really helped me on this next part of this journey, which is the vision part. And I therefore started to architect a vision across all of the areas of my life. Now this is the important bit. I come across so many career guys and girls, business owners who are smashing it in one area and have a vision, but their vision is incredibly singular. It's in one area of life, or maybe two. What we're talking about here is architecting a beautiful vision, but encompassing all areas of life. And that takes a little bit of more work. So the big piece that was missing for me, which I alluded to in video 2, was adventure, right? At this point in my life, adventure, I had a calling to nature, a calling back to adventure. And I knew I wanted to do some great stuff. I didn't know what it was at this point in my life. My rugby career was just about over. I just had a serious injury whilst playing in the World Championships in America. And I knew that I was getting to that point where I'd smashed my body around probably enough for one lifetime, and I needed something new. And that was a big void coming for me. And that choice of adventure was clear. Now, I knew that was an area of life. I just didn't have a vision of what I wanted to accomplish. Now, by the way, please understand, I did this across all of the areas, whether it was my relationships, my health and vitality, my home, where I wanted to live, every single area of life that's important to me, which we'll go through when we go to the deeper work under the diamond. You'll see I'll share very openly how I evolved my design. But this adventure was an important one for me. So I actually did a big piece of work in Tony Robbins' Date with Destiny in Australia on this exact topic. And what I came out with for adventure was a vision. It was a 20-year vision for doing the Global Adventurers Grand Slam. Now that's a vision, right? A vision needs to be big, bold, and you have probably no idea how you're going to step into it and conquer it. And at that point, 15 years ago, trust me, I had no idea how I was going to step in and conquer that. But it felt so right. I just felt alive with it. I wanted to, if I was going to do adventure, I wanted to just do something to be proud of, something that was going to excite me. So the Global Adventurers Grand Slam was climb the 7 highest mountains on all the continents, right? The 7 summits, as it's called. I wanted to go to both poles, North Pole, South Pole. I always had this thing on the Marathon des Sables, right? Running 6 marathons across the Sahara Desert, carrying everything you need to survive on your back. Don't ask me where that one came from. And there's a similar one called the Jungle Marathon in South America, and an Ironman. Those, to me, were like the epic adventures, the greats of the great, and that became the Global Adventurers Grand Slam. Now, I set that vision, I was so excited about it, and I just knew in my very soul that it was part of my calling. And then, of course, as soon as you do that, what you do when you head to vision, you start to freeze and panic and recognize that, why me? How could I possibly do such things? But we'll deal with that. We'll deal with fear. We're going to deal with courage. We're going to deal with procrastination, all that kind of good stuff. Don't worry, we'll come to all of that. But first, you've got to set the vision, and you've got to set a vision that you're excited by and proud of. And that's what I did with the Global Grand Slam. But then, once you've set the vision, Now we've got to do something about it, because sadly, I find so many people who set amazing visions, and that's what they remain, is visions. So we need a bit more depth to the architecture, maybe, to be able to bring the visions fully to life. And I sit here now 15 years later, by the way, proof in the pudding, isn't it? Where I have now climbed 6 of the highest mountains in the world, completed the Marathon des Sables, done an Ironman. So we're not doing too bad. Still got a few more things to do. Life continues. But I want to show you how, through these series, is one thing setting the visions, another thing is making the visions become real. So in the next video, I'm going to deal with the next step of that.